Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, depending upon what time you're watching this video. Welcome to Blunderful Blunderful Basics with, ta-da, Noxie. All right, we are in this video going to revisit the mountain with cave that we made prior. We're going to fix some issues, all right? The difference between making an item that's only going to render versus making an item that you're going to want to export out and bring into a virtual world or a game, as the case may be, is the texturing and how it looks. The other one looked like, well, crap. So we're going to see if we can't fix that. First off, we've got our cylinder, and we're going to loop cut and slide the heck out of it. And then we're going to go to faces. We're going to hit A. We're going to subdivide the heck out of it. There we go. Probably way more than we need, but that's all right, because we can always dissolve others. Now, what we're going to do, delete face. We're going to leave the bottom for now, but this needs to be fixed, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. First things first, we are going to line, and I didn't practice this beforehand, so yeah, this is just going to be interesting. And Shift Alt to get all of them. Come on. All right, we're going to E for extrude. And I should have done extrude Z. Yeah. All right, then we're going to scale. And then we're going to push it down. Why did we do that? Well, for a reason. And then we're going to E for extrude. And S for scale. Whoa, wrong way. Scale. And push it down. So as you can see, what we're going to make is, didn't I make that ugly? That's okay. That's all right. Do that. There. Even it a little. We are going to now make our pond with this. Doing it the other way with the knife tool, it was nice. And it had irregularities, and it was really cool, but it had unconnected verts, which means they were bad. So they didn't work in world. All right? Hey, I'm learning with you, aren't I? So now we're going to go to Mesh, Faces, make edge face. There we go. And then we're going to push that down to make our pond. A little more. About there. That looks good. All right, go to Faces. And we're still going to use the knife tool because we're going to make that path that goes up, right? So I want to go to verts. What we want to do, all right, K for knife, get our vert, and start making our path. We don't want it to be too drastic. Hit enter. See, that one's not quite on the vert. That's okay. Okay. Or that might be too drastic of an incline, but we'll find out in a bit. And enter. Or spacebar rather, not enter. Okay, So we've got our path. We'll go to lines. You can see it all. Now we're going to do something different than we did last time. Okay. Instead of copying out the path and working from there, we're going to use the line. The other way would work too, but this might be less work but more tweaking. So 6 one, half dozen of the other, right? So we're going to go to faces. And this is now our guide, our path for our path. And proportional editing, we're going to make sure we're enabled. And we're going to be on smooth to start. Okay, I'll pick here. And we'll left click and mouse wheel to make sure that we're only grabbing a little bit. There we go. And see, we're going to use that as our guideline. We're going to create our path this way. Or at least the start of it. That's too much to start with. And we are going to do this all the way up. Okay. You see how it's looking? And let me take it out of edit. You can see, and if we put that on smooth, see, it's looking very path-like. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I won't make you watch it, the whole thing. I'm going to check how long it takes me. I'll let you know. Okay, pausing now. All right, so here it is, and that took 3 minutes, and it's not very neat and tidy, but you know, it's not going to be perfect yet because we just want to get the basic idea of where it's going to be. Okay, so then we start filling in the bottom and making the rest so it's not so obvious, right? So I'm going to stick with rounded on this one instead of using the randomized because I want a very fluid, organic feel to this. And notice how I'm paying attention to which way my arrows are going because we want to make sure that we pull in the direction. See, now we can start pulling this way a bit. Hands falling asleep, and we can make this bigger now. See, the idea is to pull and fill up underneath our path, so the path looks like it was made from the side of the mountain. Just going to go through and you're going to pick your various areas and fill it in. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hit pause and do more of this, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Oops. Alright. Hi guys, welcome back. Sorry that was a long pause. So long, in fact, that when I tried to pick up the video where I left off and finish, it didn't work. So I'll have to splice this in. So I've finished pushing, pulling, prodding, poking, and what was a cylinder is now something that looks, I think, pretty mountain-like. We've got our pond. And as you can see, I've tried to make it as realistic, but yet not perfect as possible, because in nature, nothing is perfect except the golden radius. And you can learn about that in math. All right, so let's take a look at the faces here so you can see. And you can see some parts are more subdivided than others, and that's so I could make it look even more realistic and smooth. I've already uploaded this in World before I made a few changes, like I made the cavern. I love my dogs. Made the cavern / cave deeper, made this ramp easier, and lowered this right here to make it easier to get into. Okay. Now let's discuss a few things because you're going to see it in World. The path has to be pretty darn wide. And it has to be that wide because the mesh reacts with the avatar's bounding box. And that's why avatars can't really do mesh stairs in World, because of the bounding box and other reasons, physics, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to show you how to upload this so that your avatar can walk up the path, go into the cave, and go into there. But first, what do we need to do to make it look real? And texture and stuff. Because if you just exported this out like this and tried to slap a texture on it, it'd look like crap. Alright? So what we want to do is unwrap it. And to do that, we open up another screen. Okay. We highlight everything. We hit unwrap. And for this one, I just hit unwrap again. And it came out with this layout, which is perfect for what I wanted, except I did have to rearrange things a little bit. I inverted the colors. On its version, this was all black and the lines were white, and I didn't like that. And then what I had to do was export the UV layout. Okay, and I had to do that so I could open it up in my Photoshop program, which is a very old one, and I will show you real quick. Ta-da! And that's what it looks like after I put in some textures. Show you what it looks like before that. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And then what I did was I opened up a texture that I wanted to use, and I loaded the layer in. I copied it. I went, come on. Oh, okay, but that's not what I want to do here. Went back to here. I used my magnetic lasso to highlight around the area that I wanted that texture in. And I didn't do a very neat job because I'll open these back up so you can see it all. You can see there's areas where it's just not good. And you'll see how that looked in World. And then once I had my area selected, I did edit, paste into selection. Okay, and that then pasted my texture right into that area. And I did that here, and I did that here, and I did that here. So one texture covered the whole thing, and I think it looks pretty good. And I'll show you that in World. But I'll show you how to upload it too to make it look like we want. Oops, get out of here. I said go away. There. Okay. So I'm going to pause a second. Alrighty. And as you can see, I've got my mesh upload ready. I found my file. And I'm ready to upload it, except I do need to do a few things. So I need to go to, first I'm going to tell it that this is a building component. I'm going to go to physics, medium, and then I'm going to analyze it. Doing that applies the physics to it that we need so that we can walk up it, and I'm going to show you. So I've already done it, so I'm going to hit cancel, and here it is. Now, you can see it looks pretty darn good. And that's because and here's the areas I said, remember, that I didn't do very good. So, because I was trying to be fast, but check this out now. We're going to walk up. It's having a little issue there, so there we go. And you're going to see that, see, the mesh pushed over my Avi because of the bounding box. And if I approach this at an angle, I can go in. And I don't think the cave was made very big, that's why I made it larger. But to show you that it can be done, it worked. And if you can see that little pink ball on the side of my face, that is the official Digi-Techlux. That's right. And now we're going to go up here, and we're going to go down, and we're in the water, which I don't want to set up. And as you can see, come on. See, she's having a little trouble going up that tiny little ramp, so I made that smaller in the final. And now we're just going to walk back down. Let's see if I can show you what it looks like when you don't unwrap it. This one should be a bad one. Oops, that's stairs. I think I deleted them all. Here we go. Okay, so here's the same one, basically. All right. And let's get my texture. Look at that. That's just wrong. All right, let me show you a different one. Let me do cliff texture. See, it's not even accepting it on this version, but there is one where it took it and it's just wrong. Let's see if we go planar. There we go. See, it's applying it just to every vert, and it's all nasty, and that's not what we want. So that's how we get to what we want from creating it, how to make the texture, how to make the UV, how to unwrap it, and let me see, you can see my seams I made. And then how to export it, make the texture, bring it in world, slap the texture on it, and voila. Any questions? We see you in class.